Alright guys, welcome to the Valley Linux Byte. Today we are going to be talking about various things about Linux. A lot of people don't know about Linux, and there's good reason. Windows has been dominating the desktop landscape for as long as we know. Um, all the way back from DOS 6.2 on. So, let's answer our question. Who uses Linux anyway? If you have an Android phone, you're using Linux. If you are logging on to a website like Facebook, your email on Google, on iCloud, etc., you're using Linux. Most of your embedded stuff, like a lot of your TVs, cameras, video cameras, security cameras, are all using some form or another of Linux. So even though you don't see it, you're using Linux. Things like planes, for instance. A lot of planes and their radar equipment is built off of Linux just for the stability part of it. It doesn't crash. So, U.S. Postal Service, how they actually read their mail through the conveyor systems, and it shows where, because people don't actually pick up a letter and go, okay, that one's going to Texas, that one's going to Oregon. A machine does it, obviously. That machine is Linux. And that machine's been Linux for many, many, many years. The one laptop per child program, I don't know if you've heard about that one, but that's all Linux. Why not? So another question that I get is, what makes Linux more secure? One of the things that you're going to keep seeing throughout all of these, if you were to do an online search about the subject, is you're going to see community support. And I can't stress that enough. The community has people that, before the code even gets released, there's an entire planet of people who are actively working on this code. They're testing it, they're debugging it, they're going through and documenting things. I mean, you've got literally an entire planet of people working on this code versus one or two companies that keep all the code to themselves. You just don't have that same global influence over the direction of the operating system. So you just kind of get stuck with whatever the big companies want you to have, regardless if you like it or not. And to be perfectly honest, I had Windows on my computer for probably a year and a half recently. And there was probably 97% of the programs that were listed on there I never used. It just came with the operating system. I built the machine myself, but all this junk was just in the operating system. And it was constantly calling home and spying on me and telling Big Brother on me. So why am I paying $100 to $200 for software that A, I don't really want, and B, spies on me? You'd think that they would pay you for that privilege. Anyway, I digress. The community's ability to parse through errors in the code is extremely important. This is literally why probably a good 90 to 98% of all the servers globally for internet traffic and what have you are running Linux, because they can update the code on the fly. If they need to update the core of the computer, they can do that. Not the core hardware, core software. They can do that on the fly. They don't have to shut down the computer. They don't have to reboot it. People don't have to lose time on that server. They don't have to sit around and wait. They just apply the fix right then and there, and it's running the most current everything. So that's the benefit of the stability and the security of the Linux system. Another awesome thing that it's a very under the hood thing. Most people don't care about it. In fact, I'm 100% sure you don't care about it until I tell you about it, and then you're going to be like, oh, now I have an opinion. Linux utilizes a lot of different what they call file systems. It's basically just kind of the fish tank where the operating system lives, the structure just below the operating system kind of tells the physical hard drive how to store things on there and what to do with it. Two of the most, well, I won't say most popular, but the two that I use, I guess it's the most popular as well, not because I use it, is ext4 and btrfs. Those should mean absolutely zero to you, other than the fact that these file systems journal themselves. So they're always making little backups of what they're doing, so that way if something happens, you can go back. That is extremely awesome. I use that feature a lot because I'm a tinkerer. I love to break stuff and figure out how to fix it. So if you can imagine, Linux is my best friend, because if I break it, I can just go back and then break it again. So that's the cool thing about Linux, is it's tolerant of people doing silly things to it. It's very tolerant, more so than the other big name operating systems. Everybody knows what a blue screen of death is. Can you tell me what a Linux error is? Neither can I. On Mac, it's the beach ball of death. On Linux, it's nothing, because you can pretty much fix any stupid error that happens, even if something's completely frozen. I mean, a couple key clicks and boom, I'm done. Anyway, I've gone on a little bit longer than I thought that I was. I just get excited about talking about this. Anyway, if you've got any questions about my services or what I can do for you, or any more information on what Linux is and how to incorporate it into your life, please message me on Facebook. I'm at Valley Linux. Shouldn't be too hard to find. I think I'm the only one. Not that this is the only Valley. I'm sure there's several, but you know. Anyway, until next time. Peace.